Hey there, pen enthusiasts. We've got a couple inks that I picked up while I was on my vacation. I have these two here, which are both Noodlers inks, which happen to be exclusives to a fountain pen store I went to while on vacation, which is Dromgoole's. So we have the giant Texas Katydid here, which is a green ink. And then the Texas Bluebonnet, which is a blue ink. And I just picked both of these up because I do typically like blue inks. The green is kind of more of an oddball choice for me, but out of the kind of exclusives they had, these were the two that interested me. So we'll get these opened up and do a quick swab. And we can have a little story time, as this was my first time going to a actual physical brick and mortar fountain pen store. Kind of my experience on that. And along with the inks, when you check out, they have a little basket up front with some stickers in them. And they let you pick out one with your purchase. And since my whole family was there, they actually let us each pick out one. So I was able to get one of each design they had at the time, at least. As with most Noodlers inks, these are filled more or less to the brim. I've actually already filled a pen up with these, and you can't even tell, really. Now that I've got the caps back on those, and there's less of a chance of a horrible ink explosion, we'll take a closer look at these here. And so you can see that neither of these are a significantly or highly saturated ink. They're both slightly muted. The blue here and the green. The funny thing is, I did pick up slightly similar colors from the Hongdian inks a little while ago. Kind of a blue and a green there. This is a bit more of a yellowish green in comparison, and the blue's a little bit darker, it appears. And so I've already inked these up in my Jinhao 10s here. I have already done some writing with them. The inks behave quite well from what I've seen. And again, the green here is Giant Texas Katydid, which they shortened down to GTK. And then the other one here is the Texas Bluebonnet, which on the box they shortened down to BB there. So both of these inks, while they are slightly muted, they're definitely not too light for writing, in my opinion. They definitely appear to be plenty dark that you wouldn't have any worries about not being able to read them, even in different lighting conditions. I'm under quite a bit of lighting here, and they're plenty visible to me. Both of them write quite well. Neither seem to have any special properties particularly as far as like sheening or shading or anything like that, at least with the pens I'm using them in. And while you are able to pick these up online through the Dromgoole's website, I happen to be doing a vacation down to Texas. And during that, we stopped by the pen store just because I had never been to a fountain pen actual brick and mortar store, as there's none nearby me. So for me, this experience was just kind of something fun just to pick up a couple things just kind of for the fun of it. And honestly, what surprised me the most about going into a fountain pen store, as I used to work at a store that sold expensive things as well, is At my store, we had everything under a glass counter where you couldn't touch anything, and they definitely had plenty of that. But the amount of things that were just out and about that you could pick up, touch, look at, go through, whatever you needed to do was kind of surprising to me, as some of those items were hundreds of dollars, and while they have pens that cost way more than that. So I guess you have to kind of set a threshold as to what is your most important items, of course. It was just surprising to me how densely packed and kind of just out in the open so many things were. Everything was kind of in little islands of, groupings of similar products. The inks were mostly on kind of the wall, and then pens were just on little kind of islands of different brands or types and kind of price points. They did have a giant binder of all their kind of ink swatches, so you could see all the different colors, which my wife had quite a bit of fun looking through. Not that she uses fountain pens, she just likes seeing all the sparkly shimmer inks that there are. So overall, I found this to be a pretty good experience for a first time going into a fountain pen store. I wasn't really looking to purchase a pen or anything that day. The inks I had looked up online before I even went down there, just so I kind of had an idea of what I was looking for. And while I should have probably taken some pictures so I could show them here, it still feels kind of weird to do things like that in a random store I've never been to. So I actually didn't end up taking any pictures. In general, I enjoy the Noodlers inks. So with these, it's similar price point, similar quality. They are a little bit more muted than what I typically go for, but they are plenty readable. If you're interested in the Dromgoole exclusive inks, I've got a link to their website below, so you should definitely give those a look if you're interested.